Alright guys, so today we're going to make some tires out of PVC or ABS plastic. This is a finished one. It's not really super finished just because we didn't get rid of all the tool marks from the saw. Yeah, it's just a little bit too skinny on the width, so we're going to compensate for that when we show you how to make one here. But yeah, we'll probably do one all the way through, including sanding and everything, and then just finish the other, well, probably three, because I don't know, I might use this one, not sure. We'll finish the other three and then come back with it all, put it on the car, looking good instead of our old beat up rally race wheels that we used to have. So yeah, we'll get right into it. So this is 2-inch ABS pipe, you can see here. 2-inch, 50mm. I think that talks about the inside diameter. It's just some ABS my dad had laying around in the garage. Switch the end here. You can see I've got this flyer wrapped around it. It just sort of acts like a ruler, but a circular ruler, so I can draw a nice straight line all the way around, so that I know for sanding and also for the saw how wide is too wide and how, and not to go over. So you can see I've already created a little tick. Does it show up on the camera? Yeah, little tick there, so I'm just going to trace that all the way around. I find that red shows up decent. It was the one that we had. I wish we had a silver Sharpie. That would show up really nice, but we don't have a silver Sharpie, so. Okay, so we got that trace, and move it back. So we've got the tube mounted in sort of a workmate, they're called. Black & Decker makes them. I don't know. You could do this in your vise. It's just that our garage is a little cluttered right now. So yeah, you just want to tighten this up, vise down on the pipe, and then do this old school with a nice saw. I guess it's not really old school, but so I've measured this to 3 centimeters exactly, which here, I'll pop this tire, pull the wheel out, which is just a little bit bigger than the wheel itself. So we have room to sand down and make everything nice and smooth, and just make everything the way we want it. A little bit of room to play, and then also if it does come down to, oh, it's a little thick, then we can just sand off a little bit of material. So you just sort of start nice and slow. Get your groove made because it's slippery plastic. Okay, so there's that. So it's really rough, like super rough. All these chunks and stuff come off. But that's when we get the sander out, mounted in. Ooh, I went a little sideways. You can see that the wheels, ooh. This one might be a throwaway. So we decided that this one's plenty good. It's just on an angle. This side's a little thicker than this side here, but it's still, the wheel's gonna fit in there nice. So should be fine. So we're gonna fire up the sander. I'm not gonna be able to hear anything, so I'll probably fast forward that. And yeah, it's just sandpaper. I have no idea what grade it is. It's really old and wore. It takes forever to really get anything looking amazing, but that's okay. So yeah, we will cut, well, I'll probably just fast forward it through. That's only after a few minutes of sanding, and it's quite smooth. There's still a little bit of grooving in there from the saw, but compared to the other side, which is quite rough, it gets white. So I think we're gonna, I don't know, probably clean that with some sort of water or cleaner or something to make all the little sanded dust come out. But yeah, do both sides. Obviously, since this one's going to be a little wider, it's going to be a little wonky. So yeah, we'll get this sanded down a little better and then come back to the video. Got this wheel nice and finished. It's quite smooth all the way around. The front looks good. There's a few marks here and here, but not a huge deal. Obviously, we've got the rim in there. The way we did this, these wheels are pretty tight fit, which I like a lot. The last set of wheels we had, sometimes the tire would fall off mid-drift, which is really annoying because it just wears right at the rim more, and then it makes it fit, you know, slowly over time, less and less good. So we ended up pushing it in there with our hands, and there's about this much distance, but in the front, which never looks good. So we ended up taking this wrench and just sort of putting it on there, and then tapping it with the hammer. Not hard. Obviously, you want to keep the wrench moving around as you tap. So just sort of tap, 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 check it out, and then spin the wheel. Tap, 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 check it out, spin the wheel. It's pretty simple. This is a 3/4 inch wrench, but it doesn't really matter what wrench you use. Yeah, so it's not super hard to do, and we're going to finish off the other 4. It's getting dark out. We're on the back deck right now, so we can work. We have lights and stuff, but the camera's not going to be too happy when it's dark. So yeah, next clip will be in my room probably with the car in front of us. Alright guys, so we are back inside now, and well, this is being filmed probably 2 months?
Yeah.
2.5 maybe, after the last shot you saw. I'm not gonna lie to you, we just got lazy, and I was obsessing over the way it looked, and just decided to display it for like a day, and be like, oh, I'll shoot the rest of it later, and school came, and everything just sort of ended up getting in the way. I'm not gonna make excuses, I just kind of put it off because I knew I wasn't going to post this video for a while into the winter, because I mean, it's good to have extra footage over the winter so that there's not this big weird off-season, you know, pause in our videos, so we can still keep making one every week or so. But yeah, we're totally happy with the way this thing looks with the Volk Replica wheels. Right now I've actually just got a pair of pliers holding out this side because there's no wheels on it. I'm going to show you guys how I got the fitment the way I like it. It used to be pretty like far underneath the fender. I didn't really like that. It was sort of, I don't know, it didn't look like a car that I would want to own kind of thing. So in the front, I have the longer, here I'll show you the longer shafts. You can see, whoa. The one on your right is 0.5 millimeter longer, or 0.5 centimeter longer, so 5 millimeters. And this one is on the car all the way around, where these are normally on the front, and these are on the back. So this gave me a little bit extra space to have some threads, so I could put a way longer, a way more spaced hub on the front. These ones came stock on the rear. I didn't buy these. I didn't order them. They're stock to me apart from the factory right out of the box. They came on the back but not on the front. So yeah, I put those in the front just because they're a little bit more solid with the longer shafts to get the spacing I like. And then on the rear, I basically left it the same. I just ended up having to create a longer hub by stacking 2 of them. So this is an old Traxxas one on the inside, and it was stripped out by my truck, the nut loosened off, and then the wheel just stripped it out because, you know, they weren't meshing properly anymore. And then this is the Tamiya one, and it's not glued on yet, but I'll do that here in a sec. So yeah, I'd glue these together and then put the nut on, put the wheel on, and then you have something that looks a little bit like that. You can tell that the nut isn't on all the way, but for a drift car it's not a big deal because you don't have a lot of traction anyway, so therefore there's no strain, well, very minimal strain on the drivetrain, and so in turn you get, you know, to get away with little things like that. So the nuts are not going to fall off as long as it's tight, or you know, things like that aren't really going to happen. So you can see, here's our finished product. One of the wheels looks pretty good on the outside. Some marks, but nothing major. And then on the back, it's a little rougher. I didn't sand it as much, but you know, it doesn't really matter. You can see there's a bit of a lip, but I'm not really worried about that. It's the way it looks. You know, you can't get perfect when you make it homemade, so yeah, that's the drift car. We can't really take it outside and run it for you right now because there's like a foot of snow. So there's the backyard. But yeah, so we'll get footage of it running eventually. I mean, it's only a matter of time until the snow melts. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. See you in the next one.